But so you had and I'm kind of similar to you in the sense of like a non-traditional acting background.
Yeah.
Like I got into it because I started. I mean, mainly I was like writing novels and like
Oh, see, now
fiction,
that
and
was what I
that
what is
was
I was aiming to do,
right.
but I had, but I'll fast forward to past the journalism part
Mm-hmm.
to just the proliferation of digital photography,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew a lot. I'd studied art history. I knew a lot of artists. I wrote about the art world, sort of. I wrote about rich people in the
Mm-hmm.
art world, and and artists would ask me to create video pieces for
Mm-hmm.
what became a kind of nascent category of video art, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was at the time not really collectible and not really presentable. I mean, galleries didn't know how to show it.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to sell it. They didn't know they didn't know how to sell it because collectors didn't have the equipment to display it, right? You buy a painting,
Right.
or piece of sculpture or something that's got some kind of tactility.
Yeah.
You know how to hang a painting. It's a question of where you're going to hang it. Sculpture depends on the size, right? It's
Right.
huge, put it outside. But with video art, how do you project it, right? How do you buy it? Do you have to own a projector so that you can screen it for people when you have dinner parties or something? I mean, like, do you live with it 24/7? These were all the considerations, but it didn't stop a lot of artists from picking up cameras and making cinematic kinds of enterprises like
Mm-hmm.
short narratives
Mm-hmm.
and kooky things and experimental things, and I was game for it all.
Right.
What began as a diversion for me from the incessant drudgery of reporting was a I started to think, this is really where I should be because I just understood performance intuitively. I
Oh.
just did, and it's not to say that I didn't study along the way because I have with some great people,
But you had an intuitive
but it is
understanding
all
of,
intuition for me.
but like
And I'm a
especially,
writer, and
right,
I'm a strong reader,
right,
and I'm
right,
literate
right.
and articulate, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend I'm not.
No, I mean, I
And
even,
those things lend themselves to understanding and synthesizing text, dialogue.
right.
I knew how to read dialogue because I knew how to write dialogue. So,
Mm,
it was in the initial days of like going into these auditions and having to do these
mm,
cold reads, easy peasy.
easy,
I
yeah,
could just glance at it and already have a perspective and a point of view. And,
right,
whether it was right or what they
uh,
wanted was immaterial to me.
right, right,
It was
right.
about having some kind of stake in it.
You're kind of like that. I don't give a shit about the eyes. You know, they're always like, "Oh, I look at the eyes,"
No,
and
I,
you're
ca-
just like,
I actually pay a lot of attention to those things. I do think about my eye line. I'm really a stickler for continuity.
"Mm-hmm,
I am very mindful of the editor,
mm-hmm,
particularly with film.
mm-hmm,
Obviously, yeah, because with stage work, you could change it up every night if you
yeah,
wanted, and you do.
mm-hmm,
You're never going to walk in the same way, right?
right, right, right,
So, but yeah, no, I'm very aware of the technical aspects of filmmaking, but I am not conscious of it to a point where it hobbles me or
right,
I'm in any way restrained by it.
right, right,
I
right,
just
right.
remember. Well, here's the thing. I get a script. I start to really break it down. I think about all of the motivations. I give these people a history. I invest a lot of time in terms of how I visualize the character. I look in my wardrobe. I think, do I have anything that, and some people are such a departure for me. I have to go out to like Goodwill, and I shop for them. I think about what they would wear.
Well, like for a specific example, what's been like in your career, what's been the biggest stretch you were like, "Oh God, how the fuck am I gonna do this?"
Well, they all are, at least to some degree, incipiently, because you know I'm just a person, and I'm going to suddenly assume another identity.
Mm,
So they're not.
But like I would say some are like
Yes,
probably
some do
closer
borrow,
to your
right. Some
lived
borrow
in,
from my personality
you know.
and my
Like Larry David on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's
yes.
playing like a
He plays him.
italicized version of
Yes,
himself.
that's right. That's right. He's probably not quite that much,
Douchey.
much of
Maybe he
he's
is.
not quite that obnoxious, I assume,
I
in
assume,
real
yeah.
life.
Right.
But he found a persona that he can really play to.
Right.
And I think it's brilliant, of course, and I love that show.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. Dude, I have done
Well, okay.
I have been so gluttonous in this
Yeah.
career. I'm just going to tell you straight
Yeah.
out that in the absence of training and all the kinds of things that I do revere,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of educating oneself, I went overboard in working. And all of it was not really for some accretion of credits. That just happens. It was all about, for me, really learning my way around a set, learning my way on the stage, learning, you know, all of the, it is if you had to teach a person acting,
Yeah.
I was doing it, I was self-educating. I'm kind of I'm an autodidact as an actor, but I was too with journalism because I started a magazine in my 20s
Yeah.
that out of nothing. I'm like Grandma Moses, you know, I do it all on instinct. You know, I didn't work 10 years at the New Yorker. I just knew what a magazine looked like.
You just
And I
know
had
the
in my
vibe.
mind how I could do it, where we could, you know, keep it economical.
Yeah.
And I would do all the interviews. I would do them Q&A because that's easy. I would loathe transcribing them, but I did them.
Yeah.
And I kept it conversational because if there's one thing you know about me, it's that I can talk and talk and talk. So,
You got that built-in.
We're not reticent.
You got that
speaking
built-in
is
monologue
concerned.
going on. No,
Well,
it's
just,
somebody
I'm a
throws you.
windbag. I'm just a
somebody says
windbag.
protein powder, and then.
No, I'm my own creatine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love that, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
No, I mean, I just don't, you know.
I'm my own creatine.
Everything I need, I have right here.
Yeah,
you know?
no, it's
And especially up here. So,
no.
yeah, so I just worked a lot. And so, oh God, I mean, I've had so many parts. I'm trying to think of what was the most outrageous thing.
Well,
I don't know
I would even
that
ask.
there were.
I would go so far as to then ask, like, okay, maybe a character couldn't specifically. It wasn't like you didn't feel that
I'll
stretch.
tell you
because
what, I don't
yeah.
play working class people well
Why do you think that is?
because I just don't relate to people who are sort of have had hardship and
Yeah.
in an economic sense or haven't the benefit of education or don't speak, you know, in perfectly declarative sentences of
I think-
impeccable English as I do.
I think I think a
And that's
lot
just
of
that's just the way I am. I mean, I was a reader as a child, and I you know, I've had elegant education and schooling, and you know, these things refine a person. I'm too refined to play, you know, a construction worker who would say like, "Hey, we these them's those." I can't pull that off. I need a vocal coach or someone
Speaking
because
of-
I'm so intractably kind of, you know, polished. And
So
and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm trying to
Yeah.
explain this in a way that doesn't sound conceited or boastful or something.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm very self-aware. I'm
Yeah.
extremely self-aware, and I know my limitations, and I just don't have that capacity. It's not to say I couldn't do it, but I don't within the realm of independent film where you don't have all of the appurtenances of you know, vocal coaches and people to teach you how to sing and, you know, 6 months to prepare for something and, you know, all the things where you could morph yourself physically. You know, we don't have the benefit of that. There's no budget for any of that. So, God bless you. So, you have, it's all done on the fly.
That kind of reminds me of
Right?
So your co-star in that film Ephus, is that pronounced correctly?
Ephus, yes.
So I haven't seen it yet. However, I have met
Well-
Keith W. Richards.
Yeah,
And I
Keith.
think that's what I love about characters and human beings, really, is that he is like exactly what you are saying you have
I
trouble
couldn't
playing.
I couldn't play his
Cause
roles.
he,
No.
oh my God, the
But
guy
he's
is
also
so
he's a you know
raw.
he's a product of Brooklyn.
He
He's a
is a
certain type,
product.
you
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
so
yeah.
he would gravitate toward things that were closer to him. It
Yeah.
isn't to say that I couldn't play like a gumshoe or something
Yeah.
or some kind of but it would he would have elements
Just
of me in it.
natural essences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not I don't I have limitations like any actor does, you know. I mean,
But
I could easily slip into foreign tongue
uh-huh.
than I could. I
Like
mean,
being
I would
playing a
have to,
Frenchman.
yeah, I would have to learn how to speak to change a lot of my vocal tendencies in order to pronounce words a certain way and
Yeah.
all that kind of thing. I just wouldn't be able to do it without real coaching.
How'd you meet Ildiko?
I went in for an audition to do a. Well, first of all, I was grabbed by the fact that somebody was doing Elfriede Jelinek here on this side of the Atlantic, who was a noted Austrian writer, playwright, thinker, essayist. She's
Can you
brilliant.
say her name again?
Elfriede, Elfriede. Jelinek is Jelinek.
Okay.
She won a she won the Nobel probably a decade ago. Anyway, this is a story, sort of based on a true story about a baroness who hosts a shooting party and has on the
And we're
ground
talking about Reichnick. Right.
Recknitz. Yes, yes. I'm
Recknitz.
sorry.
Okay.
I should have identified it.
Recknitz. Yeah.
At her estate during the war, on which
World
is
War II.
contained, yes, two, yeah, a sort of a prison camp.
Yeah.
And after quaffing, bottles of champagne, they they decide, wouldn't it be funny to just go out and shoot these Jews,
Yeah.
and murder them and throw them in this like sort of mass potter's grave. And oh, this is a very busy place. And,
This is your commune vibe right
this
here.
is a commune.
Yeah, we got like 9 people living
9
here.
people.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
2 bathrooms and a laundry room.
Oh dear. I mean, even like the postman is a lot of persons for me to deal with in the morning.
Yeah.
I need to sort of ease into the public.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
we're giving you a little bit of a hard dose today.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're not making it easy. I thought you would, but
Hell no, dude.
you're no friend of mine.
Never, never. Anyway, so Jews.
So anyway, so what happens is they slaughtered them, and
Yeah.
then they went back to the party, and so Reckness is devised. It's kind of told, and it's a first person kind of accounting, and there are multiple voices, and I went in for an audition in the role of the professor. Yeah, I play erudite people well because it's not a stretch if you're a reader and you speak well. You just learn the material. So I went in for that, and we just kind of got on like a house on fire. You know what I mean? And in fact, I'm having lunch with her next week. She's still in Hungary, but she'll be back from Europe. She spends every summer in Europe, and I've gone on to do 4 other plays with her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love her. I mean, I love New Stage, firstly, because it appeals to me intellectually.
Yeah.
It appeals to me aesthetically. I mean, in terms of its commitment to contemporary European post-war avant-garde playwrights and writers. That is typically the sort of aegis of New Stage. Right? So most of the productions have that kind of umbrella hovering.
Yeah.
Now, not entirely. They did something last spring. It was all female. It was good. It was at the Theater for the New City.
Yeah.
But it was kind of this feminist track. I didn't. I mean, I see the
not your
important.
cup of tea.
Well, it was
Not your vibration.
it was well done, but it was narratively I was not as interested, but I liked it.
I know for me, like so when I did
I like
Electronic
serious
City,
things. Yeah,
when I
I
did,
loved that production.
and
Loved it.
that was my first
I was very upset she didn't cast me in that.
Did you audition?
No, but I just wish I, I don't know. I don't know why she didn't see me as one of the players. Because
I auditioned.
really love that show, and frankly, that is probably the best thing that New Stage has done.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
hands down.
I think they
Hands
should.
down.
I feel like so that was 2019.
Yeah, no, she invests a lot of money in production design. I mean, here we are in this black box space
Yeah.
on 106th and CPW, right? You know, it's not, it's off the beaten path, right? And you got to, but you get in there, and I can't tell you how much I look forward to the yearly productions, because those months of rehearsals are some of the most grueling, agonizing. I mean, I've left there in tears. In tears. She can kick my ass. She kicks everybody's ass. She's tough. She's tough, but it's not personal. And when you recognize the two are not, that they're not inextricable, that they are, in fact, she's doing her job.
Going back to kind of what you talked about, just like jumping into the work. Like for me, I didn't go to I didn't get a BFA or an MFA, but
yeah.
I did. I did 3 months in the trenches with Ildiko as an understudy for Chris. Forgot it. Chris. Artist in Electronic City. I was an understudy for his character
But
because
I saw you perform, though.
I was one of the citizens performing, but I was basically tasked with, because Chris's mother was ill, right? And so we weren't sure if Chris would be able to make some of the performances. So Ildiko said, Rikin, I want you to step in and learn all of Chris's lines, and then know all of his choreography, do all that stuff. Chris, man, I forgot his name. He's got this great mustache.
I know who he is
what
now.
I'm talking
Yes,
about.
I
Yeah.
know who he is.
So.
Okay.
Right. He's an artist, all that kind of stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
Basically she was like, yeah, I want you to learn all of his shit, but you may not perform it. So I basically learned his entire play, but like I was saying though, doing that for 3 months was such a great education
like
for me.
boot camp.
And it threw me in, with her style, with her, Eastern European directness, bluntness. We're gonna get this,
I know.
and it did throw me. I think I was like
It's the Iron Curtain School
the
of
25-year-old
arts.
doing
Yeah.
this for the first time and meeting all these like underground actors.
Yeah, well, she loves
that
non-traditional
are,
casting,
yeah.
which can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Sort of as an actor, it can be a little hard.
Yeah.
But she nobody does what Ildiko does. There's not another theater company in New York
Yeah.
who does what New Stage does. I adore her, and I really hope we're doing this Werner Schwab next, which is promised twice now, only to scrap it for all female productions. You know what?
see.
If you're not doing that, then I want an all male production. Yeah, a little fairness here. No, I really admire her a lot, and that's how we met.
Yeah, I mean, I like after one of the, it was after the Electronic City. I don't know if it was opening night. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was.
Was it? It
Because
was
that's when they
opening
had the
night,
party.
okay.
That's why.
Yeah,
Which is a night I typically go when I'm not actually in the show.
In the show, and then you can
and
go
then I
and
can
talk to actors.
Yeah, I can
and
speak with everyone
all that
afterwards.
stuff.
Yeah. But the thing is, never apologize or feel hampered by a lack of a BFA or an MFA. And let me tell you something. Having worked a lot with a really wide swath of people, you either have it or you don't. I'm sorry. It really comes down to that. I don't care how much technique you've learned and this and that. When the director calls action, you're not sitting there like remembering,
Yeah.
like word associations and, repeating the line back to one another. That's all well and good in your preparation.
Yeah.
But you have got to be ready when you're in a movie or in a play, off book completely, like to the point where you can, say it in your sleep, and open to whatever comes. With theater, of course, you have to be open to, I don't know, it could be somebody coughing in the audience. It could be somebody's cell phone going on.
Yeah.
It could be just, I know, somebody, maybe your scene partner goes up on a line, right? And you got to recover quickly. I've found improvisation is not facile, but I find it. I'm not afraid of it. You know what I mean?
I
So
think
I'm not afraid to like lean on it if I need to. But you need to be nimble, and you can't if you've got all these sort of processes that you arm yourself with as a performer. I don't know. I think it could be a hindrance. I don't have it, so I don't know. But I've worked with people I've seen who claim to, and I'm not sure.
I mean, I was in that phase in my life where, I was trying to get into the Juilliards, the NYUs, and I feel like
Sure.
a lot of people, at least in my cohort, have been like, oh yeah, like let me try to apply those. And I applied twice, and the second time I applied to Juilliard, I got to their end of day callbacks, had a fantastic audition, and I wasn't called back. And I said to myself, you know what? I think that is a sign. I never wanted to go. I never wanted to get an MFA. It's just because my parents were like, "Oh, you should go
But
to grad school and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff."
no. I don't think your instincts are wrong. I think training is phenomenal. It really has a lot to do with where you are in your career or what kind of time you have in your hands and what kind of money you have at your disposal.
Well, I would
Because I'll tell you something.
yeah.
I would if I didn't have sort of I have obligations to my mother who's 91. I have a lot of things come to me, so and then I have to juggle life and my day job, if you will, as a copy editor. So I work with words and edit, so language is very important to me. But the point is that if I had, say, the luxury of studying regularly, I would definitely take a class at HB or go to Freeman or and commit to the 2 months or whatever it is. Drop the $700 or whatever it is, and instead I end up putting $900 on shoes. But that's what can I say? I need shoes too.
No,
But I mean, like I see value in it, and you're young, and that's what you have on your side. I'm 63. Okay, so for me, it isn't that I look at I'm on everyone's business. Stella Adler, I'm on Strasbourg. I think about like, do I have the time? For me, it's the time because I definitely see the value, and I encourage all actors to constantly be studying, whether you're doing it on your own and doing your reading or working with some friends or you have some kind of improv outlet or whatever it is. You have to work that muscle constantly, and I do just simply by I do a lot of reading and by virtue of I audition constantly, and I'm doing. I mean, right now I'm in the middle of preparing for a film, for a feature, and I have another one on the heels of that, and possibly another one on the heels of that, depending on fundraising and shit like that. You know how it is with independent film. And then I'm hoping there will be a new stage production sometime, either in the fall or typically in the spring, which means we convene just after Christmas and start the rehearsals. So we'll see. But the point is that I always have something going on, and every time I get this close to enrolling in something, I get a script.
Yeah. Well,
I what am I going to do?
I think, but that's the interesting thing. Like, and we, with one of the podcasts earlier that we recorded, must have been like 6 months ago. It was,
getting more comfortable
I,
now.
I think about how, all right, so you can take a class and like I mean, is New York, if you're in New York City, luckily, then you can have that access. However, Sometimes I even think, life experiences themselves, and not even sometimes. I mean, it really,
Oh,
like,
it informs everything.
thinking about, what if I went to Chinatown and went into like a poker room in Chinatown and, found myself hustling some of the guys there, and then
Do you play poker?
no, I don't, but I just have this fantasy vision in my mind of like getting good at poker and then going to Chinatown and like accidentally hustling somebody there. And then that experience, life experience there, just totally, completely informing me of something. Because I think at the end of the day, it's like, sure, you take a class, but I think everything here, when you have a script, I think it's just information. That's how I see it, at least. Is like, what do I have in my head that is information that informs me on the lived experience of this person or
Oh yeah,
the circumstance or
absolutely.
whatever? And
You
it's
have
like,
to imbue them with characteristics and experiences that you can relate to their going through.
and I think the classroom setting just, and I love class, like with Ragnar Freidunk, for example, like, he's the teacher of the Michael Chekhov, technique. He has his own technique, but sometimes I feel like you'll get into a class where it's very sanitized, and people, there's almost like their own hierarchy. But I mean, obviously, like you
Well,
mentioned,
they're
Freeman
always the
Studios,
problem
a
is
fantastic
that,
school.
the problem is with some of those situations is that there is an unevenness in terms of the experience of the performer of the student, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Of
you
the
have some
different
people.
students?
Well, I'm saying you
Multiple
have people who, yeah, in a class where you have scene study class.
Yeah.
You have people at different levels basically,
Right, right.
and so that I think the best way to really, I mean, if you can, is to find private teacher because
that.
you're working on you,
Yeah.
and then you can always, if you needed to work on a scene or something, you could ask them if they have possibly one of their other students you could prepare a scene with or something like that. But it's intimate,
Yeah.
The problem with these scene study things is that it's always like some thing pulled from the repertory and the canon of like American theater post-war or whatever, and you get. I mean, I just went to this thing recently. I'm not going to say who it was with, but it was a one-off, and it was through SAG.
Okay.
But
It was like a teacher?
yeah,
Like a celebrity
unimagination.
celebrity SAG
No,
teacher
no,
kind of thing?
no. I won't say their profession because I don't want to give it away.
Just say it.
But I just will say that the unimagination in casting me as a doctor was just, and I know that sounds a little disingenuous because I've just said, well, I seem to have a kind of, I didn't say I have a limited repertoire, but I can play people who are educated, or, a lot better than I can those who are not, who don't speak as well, who aren't as, I can't do a Cockney accent.
So they cast you as a doctor.
Yeah, and the scene was like really, really, it was just quotidian, and I just didn't, I don't know.
But that's also SAG, right? They're like, not. I don't think they're
Well,
designed
it's not, it was
give you Ildika level.
No,
level
I
shit.
but I learned my lesson from it.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. And that is that sometimes when you feel like there are parts of you that are not being met, or you're not, I wish I were better trained. Maybe the best thing you could do is go to Chinatown. In other words, don't place so. People place great store by, all of these, the accolades of academia. Yes, it's important you get an education, but when it comes to acting training, so much of it can be gleaned if you're smart from the experiences of the productions. I think the problem for a lot of actors is that they really have no taste, and so they go after roles just because they've been offered it. They don't think about whether or not they could invest any lust for that character. There's no. Can I elucidate?
Yeah,
that a little,
lust
right?
of the character. That's
Yeah, I mean,
what a
like, are you like
fantastic-
hot to play this character,
Yeah.
or are you just grateful you were booked?
Given
I mean,
an
and
audition.
given and like cast in the film.
Uh-huh.
If because a limp dick is never a welcome sight.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So we must gravitate toward those roles that we could bring something to. Because if we don't, we're walking through just going through the motions, and you're just walking through the role, but you're not really, jazzed enough to like invest in all of the preparatory things. You don't ask the questions. You see him on a page and it becomes very one dimensional because it's like a stock character. And a lot of actors, I think, would rather be working than not working, which of course is okay.
Yeah.
And they're trying to build a reel, and there's all these, it's a big juggling act. Excuse me. But my point is that, and I'll tell you something. I only really came to this myself. I mean, I was always selective, or tried to be, but really now hard and fast in the last 2 years, 3 years maybe, where I say no a lot to things. Just said no twice this week. I don't know why. I was not excited about it. And you have to understand too, I'm at a certain remove from you, right? I'm 63, you're what, 28?
32.
32,
Yeah.
okay. You're young.
Yeah.
The world is your oyster. As you age, it becomes harder to find good roles for older characters who are not like, hi neighbor, like in some stupid, I'm not playing anybody's father. That is just not happening. I will play someone's father who has some kind of sexual affliction or
like
some
that.
pathology of sorts.
Yeah. Now,
I need complexity.
So
Because I'm not playing, the landlord who comes to the door and says, you're late with last month's rent.
but also I'm thinking also like career
That's not interesting to
career context, right? Like,
Yeah.
so a lot of people will take the bull. For me, I'm trying to take those role. I'm trying to take like the one line on Law and Order, right? I'm like,
I
I'm
tried
gonna,
that too.
you know?
I mean, they didn't cast me. Hello. I see we have a real parade of people here.
Yes,
But you know what?
I'm gonna get her on
I-
at some point too.
Is she an actor?
She's a artist. She created on the other side. There's a collage painting thing she created. She's
What
very
is
talented.
Is this an actor's podcast?
It's
or
an
is
artist to
this just
artist podcast.
Is this just chatting with Rikin?
Yeah, well, I have Carlo comes, but he's in
he's
Canada
here.
right
Okay.
now.
Well, I like this
and-
mano a mano.
No,
You
and
know what I mean?
I like it too, and I'm playing
'Cause
around,
I-
I'm futzing around. This is the first time we're shooting it here
luxurious
in this space, and I
Yeah.
like this a lot. But really, it's like artists, musicians.
I like to be a little more erect. Okay.
You,
This is a very enveloping sofa. But
that's why I had you come in the morning.
I'm good 24/7. Baby.
But
No, but I am. I'm very conscious of my posture, and I try to sit up straight.
Yeah.
This is a swallowing sofa.
it is really.
Now, if we were watching a movie, this is a perfect sofa.
This is
So I hope my voice is not being swallowed.
no.
too.
These mics are great, and
Oh,
I will
okay.
also say I think. What were we just talking about though? Like,
We were talking about taking
actors.
taking
Oh yeah,
parts,
yeah. So for me, like
Yeah.
I would say for me, I'm trying to get that network credit. I'm trying to get
Okay,
that.
let me
thing,
stop you right there. You know what? Okay, and this is a little departure.
This is why I need to
from-
be talking to you.
Well, I would say this is the problem I have with a lot of actors. They would rather have a credit on Law and Order in which they said 2 lines.
Yeah.
And they'll do the same thing on Blue Bloods and then
Right.
FBI and NCIS and all these episodics. And I am not discounting that. I think episodics are great. I did one on Search Party. I was on the screen 10 seconds probably, and it paid my rent for the month. Okay, so I get the paycheck. I mean, I understand the paycheck psychology of that. Artistically, however, and I see this all the time with actors who try to milk these under fives as a career, and I'm just I laugh at
Yeah,
them.
no,
I laugh at their lack of ambition. I question their judgment, and I think it's, it's okay to have just a soupçon of credits from that,
Right.
industry. But at the end of the day, are you in it to be famous, or are you in it for the craft? And that's really what it comes down to. And actually, right now, very, very germane to that, I'm workshopping a play written by my friend Nick Bisa, who also stars as my nephew in this two-hander that is just uproariously funny satire of the industry. And I play a canceled, famous, sort of troubled, complicated, canceled actor.
Yeah.
And he's my nephew who wants to be an actor, but he's not really interested in being an actor. He wants to be famous, and he wants to be an influencer, and he wants all the, these
Accoutrements.
yeah, all the accoutrement of,
Yeah.
of that. I never ever I don't value it in real life.
Yeah.
I never saw it as a goal. I never coveted that kind of clout chasing. I find people like that repellent. I hate festivals. I hate the Q&A. I hate all of that bullshit. Okay? The dog and pony show, I'm not interested in it. It doesn't interest me. What interests me is the work.
The work.
Okay? I know that's going to sound very sanctimonious,
No.
and I don't mean it to, but I don't know how else to say it. But people who know me know that my priorities are the projects themselves. I am bereft when I don't have a project to work on. I feel the void. I like the work, the rehearsals, all the strenuousness of it, and then making something really wonderful. That's what I do this for. I don't give a flying fig about fame. I said this on Back to One. My friend Peter Rinaldi.
I listened to it.
Yeah, I know I'm safe from it, which is
Yeah.
great, and because I like my privacy, dude.
Yeah.
I really do, and I value that, and I my social circles are not the people in this business. I mean, I'm friendly with everyone, and I'm social with some of them, but like my friends and family, it's divorced from all this. This
So,
is just an occupation.
When you started doing it, was it like that from the jump? Or
Yeah,
were you
yeah.
always okay,
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
don't give a fuck. That was
I
from the
did
jump.
from the
top.
jump.
You were like, oh, this is chill.
I was sort of an improbable movie star. I mean, I'm not like a matinee idol. So like I wasn't. I had no delusions, and no, I didn't. I really only felt that I could level up to a certain point where I would have a little more financial security. That was always what drove me.
Okay.
It wasn't. But I wasn't trying to I mean, I look at actors who go
You
to
ain't
these.
trying to be no Tom Cruise.
Oh God, no! How could you? I mean, first of all,
I would see that. I would watch that. If you played like a
Playing
Tom Cruise
what,
type character.
Top Gun?
That'd be
Yeah.
sick as fuck, dude.
Actually,
It would be like the non
I could do.
jingoistic.
Well,
Top Gun.
I could do a career military officer. Absolutely. Give me 6 months.
No. I
hire
want
me.
you as Tom Cruise. I want you to be the lead. He comes through.
I don't think anybody buy.
Fucking shit up.
I don't know, dude.
Fuck people. You just
maybe.
said I don't care what people think.
No, I don't mean it that way. I mean, I'm not going to make a perfect ass of myself, though.
Oh, man.
I have made a perfect ass of myself, many times.
I was
I'm not
listening
afraid to, but
I think it was.
I don't try to.
Who's that actor? Who's the one who acted in a house that Jack built? Matt Dillon.
Oh,
I think he was on this guy's podcast.
Yeah.
The guy who wrote American Psycho, Bret Easton Ellis.
Oh, yeah,
And he's talking about so he had an opportunity to be that Tom Cruise type actor, right?
No.
And he was like, look,
No.
I can't do that propaganda shit. Good for Tom for being able to do that. I think we need a function there,
Right,
and
no.
he fills the function, but I can't.
No, Matt Dillon's a bad boy, and now he's aged into this kind of wonderful.
Yeah.
He's, I mean, I grew up with him. He was plucked from obscurity and thrown into Little Darlings You know, I mean, he wasn't really an actor, so he didn't train. He's a classic case of like Lana Turner at Schwab's. You know,
They found
being
him. They plucked him.
they found him and they created him. You
Yeah,
know what I
I
mean?
see, I see.
But to his credit, and this is where taste comes in. He gravitated toward the projects that he knew he could bring something to. Of course, he can't do Top Gun. It doesn't matter how you know much he might fit the suit.
Right.
He's not politically or aesthetically or intellectually on board with any of it. And this is what I also sort of alluded to before. You know, so to sort of pick up the conversation where we left off about these credits and doing episodics and all that. They're great paychecks, but here's the thing. If you make a career out of only those, and I see many actors who do, and think that they're important because they're real, they'll always, you know, say NBC, Law and Order. Yeah, we know where it's, you know, as if you even need to identify, you know, Mariska Hargitay in a scene with you. I'm not impressed that you did that scene with her. I'll tell you why. She's just a name on a call sheet. I'm not a star fucker. I don't give a shit. I could work with anybody tomorrow. And if, you know, Glenn Close. Oh, okay. Cool. What time is that? Oh, all right. They're behind. All right, that's probably 2 hours from now. Okay, where's Crafty? You know, or I'll go in the corner, have a cigarette, and look at my script. I don't care about those things. I don't share those values.
Do you have anybody you'd like to work with?
Oh, I'd like to work. I'll tell you who I adore. Yeah. Probably two people. They're both. Well, Jodie Foster is one. Yeah, and anyone else I just enjoy. I enjoy them for their work. Isabelle Huppert. Of the men, no one really comes to mind. Ben Kingsley, maybe. I think he'd be interesting. Sigourney Weaver, I would love to work with. But I, you know, it's how's that going to happen? You know,
no, I mean,
one can dream, or one could kind of fantasize. Because I don't dream. Because the thing is, if I did, it would suggest that it superseded the interest I have in what I do. Mean, and I got to tell you, you want to know where real cinema is? It's in independent film, narratively, technically, everything. It's all in independent film. It's not happening in the studios, and it's not happening even, you know, kind of like at the level of like sort of studio side projects, which is anything that isn't a tentpole, you know.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, anything that's not a Marvel movie.
Well, no, I mean, obviously,
well,
not
like
Marvel,
Naked
like
Gun.
A24. What do you think of like an A24?
I think they're okay.
The
you know,
A24s of the world.
Yeah, they're all right. I mean, they're kind of like a moneyed indie.
Right.
You know.
Right. So what's one that you're really thinking about when you say like? So I just watched Cassavetes' Husbands.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah.
dude.
No, I mean that's the shit.
The ability for him.
But I watched that stuff as a kid, and I knew as a kid that there was something different about those films.
Yeah.
From the fare that went to our theaters that I saw, because I grew up in an age where, you know, the best American film of the heyday of the 1970s, you know, I saw, you know, all of that first run at parents who knew I was not a kid who would be tittering at and laughing at you know, sex on screen. I was mature that way. I just didn't. You know, I think it was in the 5th grade when some young woman, a black girl who's very funny, like explained the whole facts of life to me. So after that, I was like, oh, is that right? Okay.
I love how you're about to go, a young woman of color, black girl.
Yeah, well, I mean, is it wrong to say she's black? I mean,
yes.
Or should I say she's a woman of color?
I'm kidding.
Oh, please.
But
Don't get me going on that.
But no, my whole thing was, okay, so...
But the point was that I witnessed all that stuff.
Right.
And so I saw...
But that was like a moneyed cinema at the time.
What was?
Like, the Cassavetes types.
Well, by the
I
time
feel
he-
like it was.
What do you mean moneyed?
Well, you said like the A24. Could you? I'm curious if you could say
yeah,
like a
it would-
Cassavetes film would have been the A24 of the 70s.
A Woman
Yeah.
Under the Influence, possibly, yes. But when he was doing, say, Faces, no. Anything after like 1970, maybe.
Then that's yeah, because
It
he's starting to get a
to-
little
yeah.
cash
It's
money.
like early
with
Waters,
productions.
early John Waters films.
Okay,
right?
okay, yeah,
Pink
yeah.
Flamingos is not Pecker.
I don't know that reference.
That's a much later
All right,
Waters
I
title.
gotta watch Waters films. I don't think I've seen a single John Waters film, not yet. But
Oh, you are
yeah,
really, really needing to.
yeah. I just started watching
Fill
Sopranos,
that void.
and I'm
On
like
some-
loving the fact that
on
I'm
what?
Sopranos,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm loving the fact that I
Oh,
am
it's so
just
cute.
now
You're
watching
young,
it
so you've not seen
for the
these
first
things.
time. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
charming.
I saw a Freeman Studio teacher in The Sopranos, Alexandra Neal, and
Oh,
I
I'm
was like,
sure.
"Are you kidding me? It's Alex."
I love that. I love
Oh
that.
my
I think what Scott Freeman does is great.
Yeah,
He's just really, really.
but
I love that studio.
but thinking about like indie films, like today, for example.
Well, I'm a working actor.
Yeah, you're
okay.
fucking
And
great.
those were the people I always admired. Even on sitcoms, silly sitcoms growing up, I was always drawn to this subset of actors who rotated from one sitcom to another, or they would be recurring in different parts on, say, Bewitched, and I was just enchanted with them.
Yeah.
People like, oh God, I can't even think of their names because I have a terrible memory. But like, all right, Mary Wicks
Okay.
was a perfect example of like not even a second banana. A second banana would have been like Eve Arden to somebody. Like, like she was like a third banana. But the damnedest thing about her was that, from 1940s pictures to Sister Act, this woman worked for 60 years. Never famous, always a kind of a supporting actor, a character actor. Aren't all actors character actors? But the endurance of her was something I recognized and marveled at. And I thought, those are the people I really, really admire. And so, like you, I shied from ever pursuing it because I didn't, when I did pursue it, I hesitated because I thought, well, I hadn't had all this training and I had so much reverence for the craft.
Yeah.
But then I just thought, what the
it.
fuck? Like, do it. Just do it and see
Well,
what happens.
when I came into it, I started out wanting to be like the Brad Pitt,
Oh.
So I came at it from like, okay, I
Okay.
want to be famous. And then over time, as I've gotten deeper and deeper into craft knowledge, just talking to other actors,
Yeah.
I obviously like starting doing a lot of theater, like before the pandemic, all that kind of stuff. It's gradually morphed and shifted, and it went from like, I want to be the Brad Pitt to the Matthew McConaughey to the Jack Nicholson to the Cillian Murphy, all that kind of stuff. But as I do it more and more, the more kind of, I guess, refined I get, because I do it often, the more I'm becoming like, well, like, where is me in this? The Rikin, and it's like,
Yeah.
that's the idea, is like, well, you're never gonna be the other. I might be going off on a tangent and not talking,
no.
but
You're
that's my,
extra man.
because I'll watch you in your, I was watching your demo reel,
Oh.
and you have that long monologue at the end with you're in the art gallery.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so like, I was like, here is a man he has the lines, who is not playing himself. He's clearly playing a character, but is being fed by the essence of himself. And I think the more I do this work, the more I try to do experimentations and stuff like that, the more I start to like lean into like, well, that's all I have, you know?
But that's a lot, though.
That's what I'm saying, you know, and I think that's the beauty of like not
And your job
yeah.
is to continue to mine that.
Yeah.
Because that's all I have suggests this paucity of skill. That's bullshit. You have a ton within you. Your job is to investigate the peripheries and the boundaries and the depth
So I think
of what you have to offer.
That's where like
Don't
taste
short.
comes in.
Well,
you know?
yes.
And
Hello.
I think what would you give, like what would you tell somebody about taste, like refining it, developing it? I mean,
Without
that's a
sounding like an
huge.
insufferable snob.
No. I mean,
Well.
I think sound however you want to sound. Say it.
I don't think enough people trust their judgment. That's the problem. And I'm not somebody who ever questioned it. I don't. Oh God, I don't know how to say this without sounding really pompous. I don't. The only drum beat I hear is my own. Okay, I don't take style cues from magazines. I don't give a flying fuck what a pundit says on a talk show.
Yeah.
I don't. I like individual people and iconoclasts. I'm an iconoclast. I'm an outlier. I've been in it, but never of it. And what I am is a really good social observer that helped me as a writer, and it helps in my sorry, Rikin, I'm getting really comfy.
We're
here.
getting very
Here,
we're getting
there
very
we
intimate
go.
here.
Now this is nice. And it helps you as an actor. Okay, you need to be immersed in seeing what's in front of you, and that includes watching the way people behave, because the psychology of the human is that's your homework constantly, whether you're on the subway, whether you're in a restaurant, whether you're at a bar. I'm somebody who, I'm not a loner, but I tend to just, I'm independent, and I don't wait around for people to ask me if I want to do something. If I want to do something, I go do it, and I do it typically alone. But when I get there, I know I'll meet people because I'm gregarious, convivial, amiable, a lovely sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very friendly.
Yes, I see this. I'm experiencing it right now. But no.
But the point I'm making is that taste is a hard thing to come by for a lot of people because they don't trust themselves, and they're afraid they're going to do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, or so what? Take chances. Yes, everybody's got some like goth period or something. They have to figure out what their personal fashion style is. And maybe they made some questionable decisions about hair color or piercings or something. I'm blissfully uninked, of course.
I just
I am
got
not
this.
somebody. Oh, I see.
No, we have the.
Why did you do that?
Well, so my roommate, she's she used to be the roommate. She just moved out. She's like a tattoo artist, and she does woodblock tattooing. So basically, she takes like a woodblock that's carved in like India, and basically like prints it on your skin, and then she does a little stick and poke kind of action. So this is actually has its origins in the part of India that I'm from.
Oh,
So
okay.
this
So
is
it has
Gujarat. Yeah. So it's
a significance.
yeah, it's. I mean, and it's not because of that I did it, but because like I felt like in the last year I was like going through like some major life changes, like getting more independent within myself, and like just feeling.
That's good. Do you
bit
feel
more,
better?
I feel a lot more just of my own skin, in the last year, and I think to your point about judgment, and I think that's a thing that's I've struggled with. And I struggle all the time, but I think it's become a little bit easier for me to be like, all right, like go with your gut. And I think instinct is the biggest weapon that the actor has, in my opinion.
It's huge. I mean, it is everything. It's everything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, look, if you fall, you fall. You get back up.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, you correct it. You don't dwell on it. You just got to keep like moving forward and trying. You have to try.
Yeah.
You can't, I mean, my God, if you say I can't before you've even tried, it's not, I mean, when I tell you I don't play, I can't play like a longshoreman well. I don't think. I don't know. Possibly. I may be shortchanging myself, but I have tried.
Maybe like a mute longshoreman.
No,
He doesn't say anything.
yeah, just and
You
lots
just-
of lots of pantomime. No, but I have tried certain things. Trust me, I'm completely intrepid. I have balls the size of the moon. I am not afraid to go out on a limb. God knows I've been, I made a horror film. Oh, for my lovely friend Sophie and Khan. We made this. Oh my God, this absolutely ghastly cannibal movie. It was cannibal zombie with a lifestyle romance thrown in the middle of
Love
it.
it.
Oh my God, this thing is so.
Lifestyle romance.
I mean, it was like Lifetime.
Oh, Lifetime.
Lifetime television for women.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I meant Lifetime. Is that still a network, or I don't even know.
Hallmark.
I don't have.
Carlo's a Hallmark guy.
Oh, I love a good Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah,
Come
Hallmark
on.
Christmas. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God.
So
Yeah.
this was like
I would love to do a Hallmark movie.
A Hallmark movie?
Yes,
I could see
now
you.
that I would.
You could play like a good, like a eloquent Santa
Hi.
Claus.
How are
So, yeah.
you? Good.
Yeah, we're vibing out. We're on the podcast. You want to come on? You want to say some words of endearment? Yeah, it's recording.
Oh,
We're on right now.
hello.
This is.
Oh, I'm Theodore Bouloukos. You are Anga. Ah, where are you from?
India.
Oh, very nice. Did you know Rikin?
Not before, no.
Oh, I see. Well, what is it you're doing? You're just wandering around?
I was going to pick.
Oh, you're going to pee. Oh, and you're a Sikh too. Yeah, I love those bracelets. The bangle, yeah, I recognize it. Yeah. How come you're not turbaned?
Not super religious, but I kept my hair.
Oh, okay. Well, don't you keep your hair? Isn't that the point?
I mean, I'm supposed to wear a turban, but I don't.
Okay. You're also inside, and it's like nice and air conditioned. So why would you want to wear it?
Inside,
Yeah.
but technically, yeah, in front of people, I should be wearing one.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well,
He's like you. He's a rebel. He's an iconoclast.
okay. Is he?
Yeah. Well, no,
So
he's
you're-
actually
Are
more.
you Sikh too?
No, I'm not. He's definitely an iconoclast.
Are you religious?
Not in the least. No. I'm spiritual, but not at all religious. No.
That's interesting. So you're spiritual?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in some kind of deity,
Uh-huh.
higher power, whatever,
HP.
some, governing spiritual mass.
Oh.
But I don't. No, I like the trappings and the sort of pageantry of Christianity. I love sacred music. I love, even song. I like all that kind of thing. The aesthetic elements of Christianity are lovely. The pageantry, but in terms of I don't buy the Trinity one bit. Never have, never will. Jesus is the Son of God, and then you throw the Holy Spirit in there, and it's very confusing. I just believe in a kind of monotheistic, spiritual realm. Maybe I was meant to be Muslim or Jewish.
You talk about it's funny. You just talked about like the trappings of that you like the aesthetic.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just
I mean, but
thinking-
I love listening to choral music. I love I like the Tallis scholars. I mean, my Spotify is filled with people who sing dirges.
I was like, if you had like a
I
camp,
love a good requiem. Oh my
like
God!
a camp minister, like a drag ministers, and
Drag minister.
like I don't know where I'm going with this. like a drag
Actually,
preacher, a
you
preacher
asked me.
in drag.
You asked me about. I did a drag role.
Yes. All right, hell yeah.
For
You
a-
did the beard?
No, I shaved. It was for the problem with independent film in general is that, and this is another job an actor must have, is to sharpen his fucking instincts
Yeah.
for all of the stupid, dumb, hideous, malign, awful people out there who have no business in this business and who waste your fucking time,
Wait, specifically,
Well, I'm.
what do you? I mean, don't name
I
names,
can't
but
name
like,
names. But the
like,
point is
talk
that
about like, what do you mean by
I'm
that?
talking about like, and I look at. I had an experience earlier this year. I won't lie, that where a film dissolved, and I was really, it really affected me. It wasn't the sort of loss of the project. I mean, yes, there was that, but what bothered me most about it was that I was not, how I could have ever gotten into something like that was like a complete affront to me. It was offensive that I should have been, I don't want to call it naive, because that I should have been trusting enough that this was a legitimate process here, a person of legitimacy, helming it, writing it, directing it.
They were.
No, they're not.
They were not.
They're not. And I thought I could recognize the nefarious among us, and I did not. And it really, really pained me. And you could say, well, that sounds like a bruised ego. A little bit. A little bit. But I should have been much sharper than I was.
There's a lot of.
And I got taken. And I don't like
Sorry to
being
hear that.
crossed like that. I am telling you, it's been
I had
very
a-
disturbing because what you do get over time when you work hard and you've worked a long time is a real kind of second sense of, or sixth sense rather, of a your instincts are sharper. You know bullshitters from people who are genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You know you know the ones who are just sort of cloud chasers.
You say
know,
no.
your judgment of character
Right,
becomes precise. And so to have that kind of lapse of judgment is just crushing.
Why do you think you had a were you drawn by something about the project?
It was
or-
perfectly on paper. It seemed perfectly interesting, but there were little telltale signs along the way that I
Red
should have been.
flags.
Just red flags that I should have been paying more attention to. But in the process of preparation, I wasn't laser focused on things like that. I was thinking more about the development of character and that sort
the
of
writing and everything was great.
you know what? I won't. Yes, it was. Sort of materially,
Artistically, it was
artistically,
on point.
materially, completely on point.
Okay.
The person who wrote it and who wanted to direct it has no business being a director. He could be a screenwriter, but he's not a director, and he's not a filmmaker, and I don't care how often you hang out at Metrograph. That does not make you a filmmaker, okay? It just makes you a film patron. That's it.
There's a lot of people in
Oh, God,
New York
don't
City
get
with
me
that vibe.
going on that. Okay? I don't
Remember that.
I don't
Everything
pay
just-
a fortune for Mubi, Criterion, Hulu,
Right.
Kino Lorber. Oh my God! I mean, and some obscure things. British Film Institute, BritBox. I'm not spending money on that, on these monthly subscriptions, so that I can go and spend $18 at Metrograph. I am not doing that. You will not see me there unless I need to be there. I don't enjoy that milieu. It's that incestuous kind of. No, I don't enjoy it.
There are some vibes in New York with the
And all the
underground
hangers on. I can't
scenes
stand the barnacles who hang on the scene, who have no business, who have no connection to anything. They don't do anything. They just want to seem to be like part of it.
I wanted
hate-
to be in that
I
scene.
hate joiners.
I wanted
don't
to
like
be
people
I
who
wanted
join
I wanted to be
anything.
in that scene.
The only
part of
club
it.
I want to join is my own. That's it. I'm not interested. I'm not misanthropic. I'm just. I'm not a joiner. I'm not clubby. I'm
So
not.
the person that wrote the thing was like they were in that milieu, and they were in that vibration of types.
Very unquestionably.
But the writing was good.
There's no. Yes, but the rest of it. But
Organizationally, as a filmmaker,
disaster.
I think that does. I think there's one thing of like film aesthetic, but then there's another thing of film practitioner. You
Bingo.
know? And I think
Right.
practitioner.
You have to know how to talk to actors. You need. No,
Is a
you need to
different-
have your shit together.
Yeah,
and
organizational.
this person did not, and it dissolved. it was really painful.